Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make handles for your mugs. I want you to think back to your objectives. Remember, you cannot use just a simple straight coil. You never ever want to just attach a straight coil onto your mug because you need to have some area that is bigger at the top that can support the pressure. If you use just a coil like this, you have a smaller surface area in which you're putting all this pressure. So you want to make sure you have one area that's slightly bigger than the bottom. The first handle I want to show you is what I can just call this twisted handle. Take a coil, you want to squeeze it into a carrot shape. What is indicative about a carrot shape? Yeah, one end is thicker than the other. So as I go to roll this, I'm actually going to have my hands at a slight angle. So once I have that carrot shape ready to go, I'm going to start tapping it into almost like a triangle shape. So now I have that formed. All I do at this point is I start carefully twisting it. Now if your clay is too dry, it's going to start cracking at this point. So make sure you're using nice plastic clay for this. And of course, the more you twist it, the more spirals you'll have. And it looks kind of nice. It's like a little icicle. So once I have the form that I want, I'm just going to hold it next to my mug so I can cut it to the shape that I want. And this isn't it. Remember, you want your handles to be functional. So I'm not just going to leave it at this. I'm going to actually carefully place it in my hand and then smack. That gives me a nice edge on the back. It allows me to hold this comfortably so it's now more functional. So now I'm going to attach this to my mug. I'm just going to cut it one more time so it's nice and straight. And I want to make sure that my handle is lined up straight on the side. I don't want to attach it crooked. So I like to mark where I'm going to attach the handle at the top. I'm going to score and slip this really well because you would hate for your handle to fall off while you're using it. So I'm going to add my slip. I've made some nice deep score marks and I carefully just squeeze that on until the slip comes out. Again, I'm going to make sure this is straight. So I'm just going to mark, slip and score. And then I always like to just support the inside as I push the bottom down. I even like a little fingerprint in there just to make sure that that's secure. I'm going to use a glaze brush with slip and just clean all of this off. And that's the twisted handle. The next handle I want to show you is the braided handle. So you're going to start with 3 small coils of clay. You want them to be all the same size. This should be plastic clay. So again, if your clay is dried out, get fresh clay out of your bag. Once I have my coils, because this is plastic, I'm just going to pinch them together at the end. I'm not going to worry about scoring and slipping them. And to braid, all I'm going to do is take the outside braid and I just place it into the middle. Now this is in the middle. I'm going to take the outside braid on the other side and place it in the middle. So again, I'm taking the outside, placing it in the middle, and I just continue to do this until I have my braid. Once you have the braid the length you want, just go ahead and pinch the end. You'll find that there's still kind of holes within the braid. I like to kind of gently squeeze it together. And then again, I'm just going to place it in my hand. And this just allows me to be able to hold it nicely because remember, your handle has to function. So again, I like to just place it in the shape I like. For my mug, I'm going to place my mug next to it. I'm just going to cut off the end. I'm going to slip and score this on and I want to make sure it's nice and straight. I'm going to use a glaze brush with slip on it to just clean this all up. And think back to one of your golden rules. You should never hold your mug by the lip rim or the handle, right, until it's fired, because you have the risk of the handle breaking off. All right, so there is my braided handle. The other type of handle that you can create is a slab handle. Now I recommend you want a thicker slab, so I just kind of push it into about a 1 inch, and I can use the small roller to just roll that out. So it's a thicker slab because you need to have a large surface area when you attach it. So I'm going to create just kind of one of those one handle slabs, and I'm going to draw it out with my needle tool first. So once I've created my design, I'm going to use a knife and I'm going to carefully cut this out. So once I've cut it out, I've got to blend all these edges carefully because they will be sharp. If I don't blend them and make them kind of softer, it's going to be uncomfortable to use that handle. I'm going to mark where I want to place it. Check from the top that it's actually straight. I'm going to score that area. So both the mug and the handle. Add my slip. Again, supporting from the inside, I'm really going to secure that on, and I'm really going to push quite firmly from both the inside and the outside. Again, taking my brush, I just smooth out this area. I don't want any score marks left. And that would be the attachment of my slab handle. So if you choose to make a pulled handle, you're going to start by using a coil, again in that carrot shape. Then what you're going to do using a wet sponge, you wrap the sponge around the handle and you pull down, and with every pull, you flip the handle over and you're stretching out this handle. Once you've kind of got a thickness that you like, you're then going to cut this handle into kind of a shape that you want for your mug. So I like to place my mug to the side and then I'm going to cut. See again how we have a larger surface area here that we're going to attach. And then you can even do fancy things. I could roll this over, or you could simply just attach it. But because you've used a wet sponge, this is now very slippy. So you've got to kind of leave it in the shape that you want and let it get leather hard. Mark the area, score and slip. If you would like to add a reinforcing coil, you can, but you don't have to. Really push to secure it on there while supporting the back. Same as below. Sometimes people will even take their thumb and you can kind of push and make like a little thumb divot. That's kind of nice too, because then you can rest your thumb on it. Smooth the area around with the brush. And now you're ready to start decorating it. So if you're going to do additive features, now would be a good time. If you're going to stamp into it, you always want to make sure to support the inside as you do that.